Hey, DJ Eliyahu here. So the question up is frequently asked is what's the procedure for booking your bar mitzvah DJ? It's really quite a simple procedure. You want to know that you're working with the right person. The right person is not just going to be a DJ, but they're going to be a DJ MC. Okay, and what that means is you won't necessarily feel their presence as an MC because a good MC, you don't feel their presence. You don't feel like they're overbearing, right? But they are emceeing. In other words, what that means is they're announcing to your guests what's coming up on the schedule in a very subtle way. So it doesn't feel like you're necessarily boarding an airline, but it's definitely the feel of a party, and they're not telling everybody, it's time to mingle or stop mingling or listen to me. They're not desperate, and there is kind of a captain to the ship. So that's the role of MC, and they're integrating it with the role of DJ. That means that primarily they're dealing with song selection and volume. It's simple. People might think, oh, anybody can DJ. And in a sense, anybody can do what's called, I call it like iPod DJing, right? You can come with a playlist, and if you know how to make a great playlist and adjust the volume, you could have an okay party. The difference between what I call iPod DJing or live DJing is a live DJ is using his DJ software and his controller in conjunction with effects and loops and filters and volume and gain and EQ and cue points and crossfaders and faders and knobs, and he's really using these things. People say it's a joke. DJs don't do anything more, these days except select the song. But live DJing is a whole other thing. It's really, and I'm also a musician, so I can tell you that when I'm playing as a DJ, when I'm playing a music set on my controller, if I'm playing a music set on my guitar, I'm using musician skills. We can go more to that if you're interested in the DJ Academy. But you have to understand that when you're looking for your DJ, don't think, okay, well, if I have a DJ, but who's going to hold the party together? That's not a good sign that you're talking to the right DJ. You want somebody who's a DJ and MC combined. Ideally, you want to have a team. If you're having a party of, say, more than even 30, 40 people, to have a team. So you have somebody who can be on the dance floor handing out props, motivating people to dance, whether that's giving them a little nudge or a suggestion or a hint, nothing invasive, but something to lighten up the atmosphere and kind of break the ice. That's the role of your party pumper, your hype person. So when you have a team, the skills of the team, however they divide up who's party pumping, who's DJing, who's MCing, and who's running the sound equipment, that's kind of up to the team. But ideally you have a team. So the next thing to know is what you're looking for is this person familiar with the kind of music you want, the kind of vibe you want? I'm going to use the word vibe. You could use the word atmosphere. Are they familiar with it? Are they capable of it? Do they have the experience? And if they do they have the availability of the date you want? You want to find out how much it costs, what's the deposit. All this is things that you find these things out, you find the right person, and then you make a reservation. So the way you make a reservation for a DJ is you make a deposit. You could do that, depending on who your DJ is. You could do it through a credit card, you could do it through a bank transfer, a bit transfer, PayPal, Paybox. There's lots of different methods for basically a 400 shekel deposit that holds your date. Okay, so that basically talks about how you're going to book your DJ. Okay, once you've booked your DJ, you're going to enter a whole new planning stage. You're going to enter the stage of the pre-bar bat mitzvah, and that's the planning stage. So what you want to do is you want to see the materials that your DJ is going to send you through email. That's going to be things like a song selection tool, a timeline guide. Okay, you're going to kind of come up with the different pieces that are going to go on the timeline. You can take some advice from your DJ MC about what attractions might be good to have at your party, what party enhancements, and we at Holy Simchas can also provide you with a list of what we call Simcha stars. These are qualified and vetted vendors in everything from wax hands to tie-dye to paint parties, you name it, photo booths, candy stations, any outside vendor that you're going to have, you want to make sure that they're certified, okay? Because you could end up dealing with somebody who just does not take their job at the kind of level, that you're needing in order to make this party a success. So those are some of the things that you're gonna be looking at in your process before you have the party planning call. you're going to schedule an appointment with your DJ MC for your party planning, and there you're going to get into kind of how you guys feel about music, playlists, volume. You're going to design your timeline together with your DJ MC, and that's it. Okay. Beyond that, you've got the things that you have to do, whether you're making your own slideshow, and it's very recommended to have a slideshow, or whether you're having somebody else make your slideshow. The slideshow has to be completed and it has to be in a format that's compatible and playable on all devices. So it could be on a disc on key on MP4, but there's more. You'll get more detailed instructions about that, as well as options for game show and karaoke. You'll get all those different kind of options in emails that can come to your inbox, kind of slowly over the time, give you something to think about, or you can just look at all the information we have in our frequently asked questions. Okay, that basically covers it. Beyond that, that's your basic timeline for booking your DJ MC and what you want to be looking for. How many more times can I say beyond that? What the next process is basically is just preparing yourselves for the party, and that's something that we can give you kind of some advice on how to get along. There is one thing that I really did forget and was very important to mention. When you call your MC DJ, you want to have done a couple things. Considered what venue. You don't necessarily have to have your venue booked yet, but you want to consider venues. You want to consider your budget. Generally, people are spending on a 100-person party 20 to 30,000 shekels. Of course, it's easy. It's very easy to spend a lot of money on food, but other things are kind of standard. So that's kind of a variable. So you want to talk about budget. You want to talk about budget if there are two parents planning the party between both parents. Get kind of a sense of where you are. If you want, you can have a look at our sample budgets, and you can see what some of our clients have done and how they've distributed the expenses of the event. So you want to have a conversation about the date. You want to make sure that the date is cleared for all your sons and daughters' classmates, that they're not having events or parties on that day. Budget. And a little bit of a sense of what this bar mitzvah or bat mitzvah means to you. Why are you making a party? What are you celebrating? What will make it really good for you? And also a sense of what level you want the volume. All these things are things to consider in your first stages of knowing that you have a bar mitzvah or a bat mitzvah a year ahead.